Your testing plan might actually be leading you down a path to failure. So we're going to talk about how to mitigate your risk. Hi, Justin Christensen here, the co-founder and president of Conversion Fanatics and the #1 best-selling author of Conversion Fanatic, How to Double Your Customer Sales and Profits with A/B Testing. And today we're going to talk about mitigating your risk in failure in your split testing plan. So tell me if this sounds familiar. You got a test started and it's showing initial promise. Maybe it's winning by a big margin, say 60%. You get all excited and a couple days go by and you immediately think, okay, we've got a winner. Let's push that live to the site, make that the new control, and we're going to magically have this 60% improvement in our conversions. Well, there's a big problem with that. We can't really count how many times we've seen a test show promise initially, only to end up losing by a large margin. So how do you make sure that you have the efficient data that you need that can lead you to educated decisions? Well, the first way to mitigate your risk is actually to perform what is called an AA test, where you make sure your tracking platform or your testing platform is actually tracking effectively. You basically split test two versions against itself rather than testing a different variation, and you should have similar results in there. But one thing to note is most testing platforms leverage JavaScript, and JavaScript can actually have its own set of discrepancies. It isn't always 100% accurate. So what do you do if AA testing isn't an option for you because of time factors or other things and you just want to simply rely on the data? Well, the first way is you can actually push your information over to a tool or a resource such as Google Analytics. So you can have some kind of backup tracking in place to really make sure that your data is as accurate as possible. Also, to make sure you're comparing the data and possibly passing other metrics into your backend CMS or CRM system to make sure you know which variation is producing the results and you can measure and compare the data. Keep in mind that there always will be some slight discrepancies in the data. The next step is to actually make sure you have a big enough sample size. And I can't count this enough or say this enough, is make sure that you're gathering enough information on your test. Don't just run it out to a couple hundred visitors per variation and conclude it as a winner. There's a couple ways and couple things that we actually look for here at Conversion Fanatics, and that is, do you have at least 1,000 unique visitors per variation? Do you have at least 25 conversions per variation? And how close are you to actually getting to statistical significance? On another note of that is make sure that you have a big enough sample size in that you're running it for a full calendar week. Always include a weekend within your split test. You just never know what the different days of the week are going to convert and how they're going to convert differently, such as Saturday traffic might convert completely different than Tuesday traffic. So you need to take that all into consideration. So make sure that you are passing the variables. If you can't do AA testing, you're passing the information and you're comparing it, and you kind of have some form of backup tracking in place. Second is that you're getting a big enough sample size. And third would be make sure that you're not testing too many variations on the test. More variations equals more moving parts, more things to possibly break, and this goes for multivariate testing as well. It's going to take more time to conclude the results, more time, bigger sample size, more conversions needed to actually obtain the results that you're looking for. So make sure you limit it to 2 or 3 variations tops to make sure that you're getting the most accurate data. So just a few tips on how to get the most out of your testing plan so you're not led down the path to failure and you're getting the most accurate information possible. This is Justin Christensen again. Thanks, and we'll talk to you again soon.